Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. It's Matt from Cars and Couches, and today we're going to be diagnosing the problem that I'm having with my 2011 Dodge Avenger. Yeah, that's right. This is the car that I've been driving since I sold my Mustang, but I love this car. It's my baby. Anyway, so here's the issue that I'm having with it. Now, it is really cold outside right now, and my hands are freezing. But what I'm having is that the car is just not heating up. Like the temperature gauge that I'm having in my car, typically between the hot and the cold part on the gauge, it's supposed to be somewhere in the middle. It doesn't have the temperature, but it's supposed to be in the middle. And right now, it only heats up till about a quarter of the way. Now, actually, let me actually re-say that. It actually will go up to halfway, but the second I start driving, it goes back down to a quarter. And obviously, because of this, the car on the inside, it won't warm up. When I turn the heater on the car, it's not warming up, and you can see how that could be a problem in the winter. So we're going to figure out what this issue is, and I'm going to diagnose it and try to fix the problem with you guys. So anyway, guys, let's get started. I'm sitting inside my car now because it's definitely way too cold to stand outside. I've been letting my car heat up till it's at the exact, so it's at the halfway mark. And I'm going to show you guys how that goes down so easily as I'm driving. But anyway, I did some research online to try to figure out what the problem was before I even started this. And I think it's going to be one of two different issues. It's either going to be that it's low on antifreeze, or two, it's that the thermostat or the sensor is just not good anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head to my local auto parts store and have them OBD2 scan it so that I can find out if it's the bad thermostat, or if there's a bad thermostat, sensor, or if it is low on antifreeze. And if you're wondering, well, if it's low on antifreeze, wouldn't you just be able to look at the reservoir and see that if it's low? Yes, but for whatever reason, my reservoir has, it says cold, like max level. And it's a pretty big distance between the minimum and the maximum. And right now mine's at the, right at the minimum. So I'm wondering if that could be an issue. And I have no idea. I would imagine it wouldn't be, because if they're saying you're allowed to have that minimum, and obviously cars can drive at low temperatures too, you would imagine that it wouldn't be a problem. So anyway, I'm going to go to the auto store. I'm going to have it scanned to figure out if there's a thermostat / sensor issue. And if not, then I'm going to try putting some new antifreeze in it and seeing if that fixes the issue. So hey guys, check this out. Just as suspected, I thought that there was going to be a problem with the thermostat. And look what happens as soon as I put the OBD2 sensor in. I have this code P0128, thermostat rationality, DTC severity 2 out of 3, repair immediately if drivability issues are present, threat to essential system components, if not repaired as soon as possible. So it looks like we found our issue. I have a bad thermostat and that needs to be replaced, I'm assuming. So I'm going to go back inside and tell them of the code that I got and see if they have the component or the part that I need so I could fix this issue. All right there, folks, so we got it. We know exactly what the issue was. I went in and thanks to Kurt at O'Reilly's, I gave him the code. He said that my thermostat was stuck open and said that I need a new thermostat, and also advised me to get the new housing for it, because he says after it gets hot and cold so many times, when I take off that piece, it's just going to crumble. Unfortunately, they didn't have that part with the housing for it at this location, but there's one just like 5 miles away from here. I'm going to go pick up that part and I'm going to replace the thermostat, and then we shouldn't have any more issues. All right, guys, I'm back with the part, the thermostat and the housing that I'm going to need to install on this car to fix the issue that I was having. Let's take a look at this real quick. All right. So here's the thermostat and the housing that we're going to be replacing. So I'm just going to set this down over here. And let's go with step number 1 is locate the radiator. Oh, there we go. Step 2, locate the radiator hose. There it is. Step 3, oh, hey. That part looks awfully familiar. So it looks like I'm going to end up putting this right there. So let's go ahead and get this installation started. I'm going to be using channel lock pliers, these right here, to go ahead and take this clamp off so I can remove the hose. I'm going to be very careful because there could still be coolant in there and I don't want it to fall down. And then I'm going to need to remove the part, which is, I don't know if you could see it, there's these 10mm bolts that I'm going to remove with this 10mm socket that I have on this ratchet. So let's go ahead and get started and replace the part. All right, guys, so I took off the hose and I did remove the old thermostat and thermostat housing. Just a quick heads up, when you do take it off, coolant will come out. So you want to make sure that your engine is completely cooled down. Otherwise, you're going to burn your hand. Also, just a heads up on this. So when I did take off the first bolt, it was pretty easy because it's on top. But if you notice, the second one is directly below it. So the way that I did this was I brought the ratchet and I had to feel with it with my finger to find out where it was. And I used the ratchet just to break it. Once I broke it, I ended up having to go back in with my hands and loosen it by finger. Otherwise, there was no other way to do it. It's pretty tedious, but surely enough, you will be able to get it off, and it's a pretty simple thing to do. I'm going to go ahead and the next step would be for me to go ahead and place the new thermostat and housing on this hose and then reinstall it here. Oh, also, don't forget, sometimes the O-ring that was supposed to be in here may still be stuck in the hole right here. So go ahead and put your fingers in there and pull that out. You do not want to install the new one with this old O-ring still in there. All right, guys, check it out. So the hose is back on the housing and the housing is installed back on. And so now the only thing that we have left to do is to just go ahead and test drive the car and see if the temperature will stay at where it's supposed to be while I'm driving it. All right, guys, so it looks like now we have the temperature of the car in the optimal range. So all I'm gonna do now is drive this car for the next 5-10 minutes and see if that temperature stays right there. All right, guys, so I've been driving the car for around 10 minutes now, and it looks like the temperature's still in optimal range. So I can finally confirm that the issue is a broken thermostat, and by replacing that part, I fixed my issue. Oh, one final reminder. Before you go and test drive your car, you start test driving your car, make sure to go ahead and replace that coolant that you lost when you replace that part. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope that this video was helpful to you in case you guys were experiencing the exact same problem as I was. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. We appreciate the support. And don't forget our #1 slogan at Cars and Couches, no heats, no problem. I'll catch you guys later.